Mark chapter 6, verses 30 to 44. The apostles then rendezvoused with Jesus and reported on all they had done and taught. Jesus said, "Come off by yourselves. Let us take a break and get a little rest." For there was a constant coming and going. They didn't even have time to eat. So they got in a boat and went off to a remote place by themselves. Someone saw them going, and the word got around. From surrounding towns, people went out on foot, running, and got there ahead of them. When Jesus arrived, he saw this huge crowd. At the sight of them, his heart broke. Like sheep with no shepherds they were. He went right to work teaching them. When his disciples thought this had gone on long enough, it was quite late in the day. They interrupted. "We are a long way out in the country, and it is very late. Pronounce a benediction and send these folks off so they can get some supper." Jesus said, "You do it. Fix supper for them." They replied, "Are you serious? You want us to go and spend a fortune on food for their supper?" But he was quite serious. "How many loaves of bread do you have? Take inventory." That didn't take long. 5, they said, plus 2 fish. Jesus got them all to sit down in groups of 50 or 100. They looked like patchwork quilt of wild flowers spread out on the green grass. He took the loaves and 2 fishes, lifted his face to heaven, prayed, blessed, broke, and gave the bread to the disciples, and the disciples in turn gave it to the people. He did the same with the fish. They all ate their fill. The disciple gathers 12 baskets of leftovers. More than 5,000 were at the supper. Mark chapter 6, verses 30 to 44. The apostles gathered round Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many who saw them leaving recognized them and ran on foot from all the towns and got there ahead of them. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. By this time it was late in the day, so his disciples came to him. "This is a remote place," they said, "and it's already very late. Send the people away so they can go to the surrounding countrysides and villages and buy themselves something to eat." But he answered, "You give them something to eat." They said to him, "That would take more than half a year's wages. Are we to go and spend that much on bread and give them it to eat?" "How many loaves do you have?" he asked. "Go and see." When they found out, they said, 5 and 2 fish. Then Jesus told them to make all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in groups of hundreds and 50s. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to his disciples to distribute to the people. he also divided the 2 fish among them. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 baskets of broken pieces of bread and fish. The number of men who had eaten were 5,000.